Sa piling mo, di ko mawawala ang korupsyon. Tayo na Pilipinas, tayo na at magbago. Hawak kamay tayo para sa pag-asenso. Ikaw at ako, tayo na. We go Duterte, para sa tunay na pagbabago.
We shall begin with the ceremony. Let us all sing the Philippine National Anthem.
Sisiin sa dagat ang mundo, sa siwi at sa langit mo parang may nilagang pula at tao sa paglayang pinamahal. Makislap ng watawat mo na buhay na nagkinilig, ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may magdidilig. Walang araw ng paghati mo sila, buhay ay langit sa piling mo.
Please remain standing for the invocation with the Chief Chaplain Service, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Brigadier General Tirso A. Dolina, officiating.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge the Lord, and He will direct your path. From the book of Proverbs. Let us pray. Almighty God, source of all graces and blessings, in humility we adore, praise, and thank you. As we raise the attention of our minds and the devotion of our hearts to your sacred presence in prayer. With optimistic spirits, we convene for the change of command and retirement ceremony of the Commanding General of the Philippine Army. Sanctify this event, O God, with your blessing, for this is a testament of our deep faith in you, as we live our oath and our mandate to protect the people and to secure the state, and this tradition of succession ensures the leadership for the accomplishment of our mission. And so we beseech you, O God, to inspire us, so that each one will derive from this ceremony the enlightenment, the moment, and the memory that we envision. Because persons are gifts, and every vocation and position that you bestow to every man is a fulfillment of your divine plan. And we believe everything, O God, happens for a reason, because the future is in your hands. So accept, we beseech you, O God, our sacrifices and accomplishments in the past, and our plans and initiatives for the future. These are our humble offerings to the Filipino people, and to abide with faithfully to our core values of honor, service, and patriotism. With sincerity, we implore your distinct benediction on our Commander-in-Chief and President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Finally, may the God of life, the God of providence, the God of our history and destiny, bless, protect, and prosper every Filipino and the Philippine Army, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. Today's occasion affords us to witness the change of command ceremony of the Philippine Army, while we give acknowledgement to the immeasurable contributions of this esteemed leader who has steered the 87,000-strong army towards greater achievement, Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito D. Bautista. As we proceed, we shall witness the presentation of awards to the outgoing Commanding General Philippine Army for the exceptional performance rendered during his term. The award to be presented is the Philippine Legion of Honor. The outgoing Commanding General Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito D. Bautista, is requested to stand and step forward. The citation of the award will be read by the Adjutant General, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Brigadier General Maxima O. Ignacio.
Republic of the Philippines, Department of National Defense, General Headquarters, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. General Orders number 1173, published on the 11 October 2017. Award of the Philippine Legion of Honor, degree of Commander. By direction of the President, pursuant to paragraph 282B, section 1-2, chapter 1, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Regulations G 131-054, General Headquarters, dated 26 June 2014. The Philippine Legion of Honor in the degree of Commander is hereby presented to Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito Delizo Bautista, Officer DAS 9303, Armed Forces of the Philippines, for eminently meritorious and valuable service rendered in a position of major responsibility as the 59th Commanding General, Philippine Army, from 05 October 2017 to 14 October 2018. Imbued with outstanding leadership, professional competence, and managerial acumen, Lieutenant General Bautista steered the Philippine Army towards the fulfillment of its mandate. His tenure was marked by a deep focus in enhancing the current capabilities of the Philippine Army as a more effective and reliable force provider of the armed forces of the Philippines. Noteworthy achievements, among others, during his watch are on doctrines. It includes the promulgation of 9 manuals that gave emphasis on the development of Army personnel. On organization, 10 infantry battalions, 1 Scout Ranger battalion, and the Philippine Army Legislative Board were organized, as well as merging of units. Local and foreign trainings were availed to include the command's participation in the AFP Joint Exercise Dagat, Langit at Lupa. On capability upgrade, the Army issued 609 various mobility assets and the completion of 5 Philippine Army modernization projects. On information systems, the Army completed the Division Tactical Operations Command Information and Communications Technology Enhancement Project. On civil military operations, efforts to complement the combat and intelligence grounds were piloted through radio broadcasting system and loudspeaker operations. On humanitarian assistance and disaster response, the command provided assistance during the Mayon volcano eruption in Albay and in the aftermath of the Marawi Rebellion. On transformation, 9 Army major units attained institutionalized status in the Army governance pathway, and the Philippine Army was inducted into the Palladium Balance Scorecard Hall of Fame. By these achievements, Lieutenant General Bautista earned the respect and admiration of the Philippine government and the Filipino people. By order of the Secretary of National Defense, Official Carlito G. Galvez Jr., General, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Chief of Staff. Signed, Maxima O. Ignacio, Brigadier General, Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Adjutant General.
President Rodrigo Roa Duterte is requested to present the award to be assisted by the Secretary of National Defense, Delphine N. Lorenzana. Please rise as we witness the presentation of award. Congratulations to Lieutenant General Rolando Salito de Bautista. Thank you to the President and to the Secretary of National Defense. Please be seated. We shall move on with a change of command ceremony. The Adjutant General, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Brigadier General Maxima O. Ignacio, will read the relief and designation orders.
General Headquarters, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. General Orders Number 1175, published on 15 October 2018. Section 1, Termination. Designation of Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito Delizo Bautista, Officer DAS 9303, Armed Forces of the Philippines, as Commanding General, Philippine Army, is terminated effective 15 October 2018. Section 2, Designation. Major General Macairog Sabiniano Alberto, Officer DAS 9568, Armed Forces of the Philippines, is designated as Commanding General, Philippine Army, effective 15 October 2018. By command of General Galvez Jr., Official Gaudencio C. Collado Jr., Vice Admiral, Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Deputy Chief of Staff. Signed, Maxima O. Ignacio, Brigadier General, Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Adjutant General.
The outgoing Commanding General, Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito de Bautista, will read and sign the order for his relinquishment of command.
Headquarters, Philippine Army, Office of the Commanding General, Fort Andres, Bonifacio, Metro Manila. Office Orders Number 01, dated 15 October 2018. Relinquishment of command. Pursuant to Section 1, General Orders Number 1175, General Headquarters, Armed Forces of the Philippines, dated 15 October 2018. I hereby relinquish the position as Commanding General, Philippine Army, effective 15 October 2018. In your presence, I sign.
The incoming Commanding General, Philippine Army, Major General Makairog S. Alberto, will read and sign the order for his assumption of command.
Headquarters, Philippine Army, Office of the Commanding General, Fort Andres Bonifacio, Metro Manila. Office Orders Number 2, dated 15 October 2018. Assumption of Command. Pursuant to Section 2, General Orders Number 1175, General Headquarters, Armed Forces of the Philippines, dated 15 October 2018, I hereby assume the position as Commanding General, Philippine Army, effective 15 October 2018. In your presence, I sign.
We shall now witness the handover of the command symbol to be presided by President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Saber is a symbol of responsibility that goes with command and authority. It is closely associated with military leadership. The saber remains to be handed on by the outgoing to the incoming authority, along with the surmounting power, prestige, and significance it embodies. The 60th Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Major General Makairog S. Alberto, will deliver his remarks.
First of all, let me acknowledge our guest of honor speaker, the Commander-in-Chief, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, the Secretary of National Defense, Honorable Delphine N. Lorenzana, the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Carlito Galvez Jr., the outgoing Commanding General, Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito Bautista. Let me also acknowledge the other guests present from Malacanang officials, Executive Secretary Salvador Mediadea, the Executive Secretary, Christopher Lawrence Go, Special Assistant to the President, Secretary Jose Roberto Martin M. Andanar, the Presidential Como Operations Officer, Colonel Jose Ariel Nembra, Brigadier General Oliver Artus, SMA to the President, Yosek Lorraine May Badoy from PCOO, from the Department of National Defense, Lieutenant General Ernesto G. Carolina, the Administrator of the Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, the Major Services Commanders, from the Philippine Air Force, Lieutenant General Galileo Gerard Quintanar, Jr., representing the Flag Officer in Command of the Philippine Navy, Rear Admiral Romel Judong, the Chief PNP, Police Director General Oscar D. Albayalde, and the Commandant of the Philippine Coast Guard, Rear Admiral Elson Hermahino. Let me also greet the former Commanding Generals of the Philippine Army present, most of whom are my mentors. We have General Jimenez Esperon Jr., sir, General Ray Mapago, sir, General Dionisio Santiago, my 1st Battalion Commander, General Jean Senga, General Rogelio, sir, General De Los Santos, my other battalion commander also, General Noel Cobales, my mentor, General Bong Ibrado, sir, the idol of the Special Operations, General Art Ortiz, and General DCA, Hernando DCA Riberi, sir, and General Dobby Miranda. Unified Commanders present, Philippine Army Major Unit Commanders present, to my family and relatives, special guests, stakeholders and friends, Chief Jusmag and Foreign Affairs, Foreign Attaches present, PMA Sandiwa class of 1985 and their ladies, and of course, the PMA Sinagtala class of 1986 and their ladies. Members of the HPA General Staff, Personal Staff, ISAP officers, other officers present, my guest from Combal, Governor Tyron Uy, and Congressman Maricar, and Vice Gov Duhali of the Davao Norte, friends present, classmates, to everyone, good afternoon. Allow me to start my remarks with a quote from the Bible, Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with honor and pride that I assume the position of the Commanding General, Philippine Army, and answer the call of duty to serve and face the challenges of leadership. I would like to thank the Lord God for this opportunity to serve our country and people in this capacity. Truly, God is great. I would also like to express my utmost gratitude to our Commander-in-Chief, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for his trust and confidence in my ability to lead the Philippine Army. Mahal na Pangulo, makakaasa po kayo na pag-iingatan ko ang tiwala na pinagkaloob niyo sa akin bilang pinuno ng hukbong katihan ng Pilipinas. I would also like to thank the Secretary of National Defense, Honorable Delfin Lorenzana, for his guidance and leadership, and the Special Assistant to the President, Christopher Lawrence Bongo, for his support and trust. Let me also greet the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, for your sterling leadership, and also to the Assistant Secretary of the Office of Philippine Presidential Affairs for Management, Lieutenant General Arthur Tabaquero, and lastly, but of course not the least, to the outgoing Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Rolando Bautista. Thank you, sir, for bringing the Philippines Army's capability to higher levels. I realize I have big shoes to fill, but I assure you, I will continue your good work and build on your accomplishments. To my wife, Joy, my children, grandchild, and siblings, you are the compass and North Star that guided me through all these years. Thank you for your love and understanding. A year ago, the Battle of Marawi ended. Countless accounts of heroism were demonstrated by the officers and men of the Philippine Army. Today, we still continue to display the same gallantry and heroism in our vigilance against the threat of terrorism. Extremist groups still seek to destroy our society and our way of life. We must guard the fragile peace we have so far achieved. Likewise, criminal groups, lawless elements, external security concerns, and even the threat of natural calamities require our Army to be prepared to meet these challenges. I will therefore endeavor to make the Philippine Army a more agile force, one that is prepared and able to meet current and emerging threats. We will develop our capability to project land power where it is needed, in support to the General Headquarters and Unified Command's missions. We must be able to have a total force where active and reserve units can be integrated in the local defense and public safety systems to make our localities more resilient against threats and disasters. I will continue to pursue the capability developments, focusing on improving the areas of doctrine, organization, training, material, leadership, personnel, and facilities. I will also look after the morale and welfare of our troops by supporting our soldiers' family programs and improving the way we care for our wounded soldiers and surviving family members. I will continue to enhance the leadership and development of our officers and NCOs to better prepare them for positions of higher responsibility. In keeping with the guidance of the President on good governance, I will ensure that gains we achieve on the Army's transformation roadmap shall continue and meet our vision of a world-class professional Army. Today, the leadership of your Army has been passed on to me. On my shoulders lies the responsibility of providing leadership and management to the entire Philippine Army. I am honored and grateful to serve, ready to meet the challenges, and with God's blessings and your support, we will succeed. To the officers, enlisted personnel, civilian employees, and stakeholders, let us begin to work together for this great organization. Maraming salamat at mabuhay tayong lahat.
Thank you very much to the new Commanding General, Philippine Army. We shall proceed with the retirement ceremony of Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito Delizo Bautista. We would like to request Lieutenant General Bautista, sir, to stand and step forward as the retirement order is read by the Adjutant General, Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Republic of the Philippines, Department of National Defense, General Headquarters, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. General Orders Number 678, published on 01 June 2018. Compulsory retirement, pursuant to Sections 5A and 17 of Presidential Decree Number 1638 as amended and in consonance with Presidential Administrative Order Number 150 dated 04 January 1990. Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito Delizo Bautista, Officer DAS 9303, Armed Forces of the Philippines, having completed 37 years and 6 months of active military service in the Armed Forces of the Philippines from 01 April 1981 to 14 October 2018 is compulsorily retired in the rank of Lieutenant General with retirement pay based on the salary grade of General with PIP longevity pay effective 15 October 2018. By order of the Secretary of National Defense, Official Carlito G. Galvez Jr., General, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Chief of Staff. Signed, Maxima O. Ignacio, Colonel, Philippine Air Force, General Staff Corps, the Adjutant General.
Please remain in front, sir, as plaques and encased Philippine flag will be presented. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte is requested to present the plaques and Philippine flag to be assisted by the Secretary of National Defense, Delphine N. Lorenzana, and the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Carlito G. Galvez Jr. The command plaque is presented to Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito D. Bautista, O-9303, Armed Forces of the Philippines, in grateful acknowledgement of his eminently meritorious and valuable service as Commanding General, Philippine Army from 5 October 2017 to 14 October 2018. Plaque of Honorable Service is presented to Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito D. Bautista, O-9303, Armed Forces of the Philippines, in recognition of his 37 years, 6 months, and 14 days of faithful and honorable service to the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Army from 1 April 1981 to 14 October 2018. This time, the encased Philippine flag will be presented. The symbol of aspirations and existence as men and women in the noble profession of arms, the Philippine flag. The encased Philippine flag is presented to Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito D. Bautista. Congratulations to Lieutenant General Bautista, sir. Thank you to the President, to the Secretary of National Defense, and the Chief of Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now hear the valedictory address of the immediate past Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito de Lizo Bautista.
First of all, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed guest today, our guest of honor and speaker who will be introduced later, Executive Secretary Salvador C. Mejaldea, Special Assistant to the President Christopher Lawrence Bongo, officials from the Department of National Defense headed by no less than Secretary Delphine Negrillo Lorenzana, and wife, Ma'am Edith. The National Security Advisor, Hermogenes Esperon Jr., Major General Macairog Alberto, the new Commanding General of the Philippine Army, and wife, Jessica. Other distinguished Cabinet Secretaries present, the Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Carlito Galvez Jr., and wife, Marisa. Philippine Air Force Commanding General, Lieutenant General Galileo Gerard Quintanar Jr., kindly stand up, and wife, Len. Flag Officer in Command, Philippine Navy, Rear Admiral Robert M. Pedrad, represented by Rear Admiral Romel Ong. Philippine National Police Chief, Police Director General Oscar Albayalde. We also have here today the commanders of the Unified Commands. Kindly stand up to be recognized. And the Superintendent of PMA. Around. Yeah. Members of Team Army headed by the Vice Commander, Major General Robert M. Arevalo, and Chief of Staff, Major General Danilo Chad Isleta. Kindly stand up. All the Infantry Division Commanders present. Kindly stand up, all the Division Commanders. The former pillars, former commanding generals of the Philippine Army. Sir, kindly stand up, sir. the Chief of the Joint U.S. Military Advisory Group and foreign armed forces attachés from different nations, our generous stakeholders from the Tarlac Heritage Foundation, Doña Isabel Suntay and Dr. Isabel Conjuanco Suntay, members of the Philippine Army Multi-Sectoral Advisory Board, representatives from our partner institutions and agencies like Tuloy Foundation Incorporated, Bautista Foundation Incorporated, Bases Conversion and Development Authority, San Miguel Brewery, and SNS Enterprise, Ma'am Christine Bangot, the CEO of Kilos Kabataan Livelihood Foundation, Attorney Tom Falgi from Jensen, Attorney Eileen Lisada from LTFRB, our friends from Basilan and Zamboanga City, kindly stand up. Thank you. I am also thankful to Habitas, the civilians, whom we have helped in getting out of the main battle area in Marawi City, Father Teresito Chito Soganov, and 3 other rescued hostages, Dinah, Ruby, and Archili. Kindly stand up. Members of PMA Sandiwa class of 1985 and their ladies, please stand up to be recognized. Thank you. Members of PMA Sinagtala class of 1986 and their ladies. Members of my family and my relatives, kindly stand up. Classmates from Elpidio Quirino High School, batch of 1979. Other officers, enlisted personnel, and civilian employees, our media friends, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Being plucked out of an infantry division to be the 59th Commanding General of the 95,000-strong force of the Philippine Army last October 5, 2017, capped a major milestone in my 37 years of military service. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to become the highest leader of this prestigious command. Truly, it was an act of the heavens and destiny that put me here. A word I recall no less than our Commander-in-Chief has been fond of saying in his early days as the President of the Republic. While 2017 was a year of challenges for the country's security forces, the ingenuity, unity, and firm resolve of the Filipino people, solidarity and brotherhood of nations, cohesiveness, combat readiness, adaptability, inventiveness, and the invincible spirit of our security forces, coupled with our respect for our Muslim brothers and sisters, led to the speedy resolution of the siege of the Islamic city of Marawi. Terrorism will always be the enemy of humanity and the product of poverty. The difficulties we face as a result of the evolving threats that confront our security forces have necessitated a constructive and realistic cooperation not only among ourselves, but also with the leaders of the free world. Terrorism requires a holistic strategy, for the field of the global war on terror is akin to a lethal virus, and moving the lawn will simply not be enough. There is no clear-cut solution to security challenges involving terrorism. Even first world countries, when confronted by terrorist attacks, need to take time to assess, adapt, innovate, and learn from the challenges on hand, as well as the eventual lessons that are to be learned. Our Army Strong Force, under my leadership, was able to perform its mandate well, with the addition of 11 activated battalions, the promotion of more officers and enlisted personnel, and the creation of new offices to address the increasing demands of our organization. Newly adopted intense trainings for company and battalion level units were implemented, which tackled the actual and current trends of security operations. Likewise, we have enhanced our capabilities with new facilities and medical equipment, the upgrading of the communication capabilities of the Philippine Army major units, and making readily available logistical supplies such as ammunitions, organizational equipment and supplies, and mobility assets. We have beefed up our training programs for our reserve force and elevated the readiness levels. The setting up of the Operations Research Center, or ORC, of the Army has enabled us to compile, circumstantiate, and analyze our operations. This first-hand database obtained by the ORC from the collective experiences of our men and women in uniform has enabled your strong Army to formulate relevant guidelines, address organizational and systemic issues, and highlight techniques or innovations of our personnel which have benefited all of us. Your professional Army has ensured its interoperability with the other major services by supporting and actively participating in the AAP joint exercises and committing the Army Special Operations Units to the AAP Special Operations Command. Social assistance programs for troops who were killed and wounded in action were implemented with access to speedy processing of claims by their loved ones. On 02 to 07 October 2018, a 13-man contingent composed of officers and enlisted personnel of the Philippine Army undertook a historic socio-cultural military experience in the Sovereign Republic of Vietnam in cooperation with our Lac Heritage Foundation and the Vietnam Ambassador. Our personnel interacted with the Vietnamese people in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh cities during their visit and gained valuable insights into their way of life. After presenting the problem of the DND, Philippine Army lands held by BCDA to our Commander-in-Chief on 20 September, a draft presidential proclamation designating the area covered by the Clark Special Economic Zone, transferring these lands to the Department of National Defense Philippine Army, declaring a portion of the same no longer necessary for public use or service and open for alienation and disposition for long-term lease to support the AFP pension and other military projects, was presented by the Philippine Army Technical Working Group to Secretary Delfin Nogresana for his approval on 01 October. Secretary Lorenzana subsequently sent the draft presidential proclamation to the Office of the Executive Secretary. The welfare and well-being of each and every member of the Philippine Army has always been a top priority of mine. The administration of Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte has elevated the status of the armed profession and professionalized it. Being in the service has taken on a new meaning, and the youth now find it a noble profession and a stable career choice. The tremendous outpouring of support for the heroes of the Battle of Marawi has awakened the spirit of nationalism, a barrage of applicants for the major branches of service of the AFP and the PNP. For this, we owe our thanks to our Commander-in-Chief for his untiring support for the men and women in uniform. Ensuring peace, securing our land, contributing to the efforts of nation building, and serving our people are the cornerstones of the Philippine Army. Lessons learned from the recent operations have allowed us to master our soldierly craft and sharpen our competencies. We were able to strike a delicate balance between the vital and non-vital aspects of our operations. We successfully raised the bar of our battle capabilities, as proven by the success of our security forces in the liberation of Marawi last year. We have gained the respect of the ambassadors of Laos, Singapore, Russia, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, India, Pakistan, Thailand, and others with flagship projects such as the Bahay Pag-asa 1 and Bahay Pag-asa 2, our immediate shelter and accommodation community models for the internally displaced persons or IDPs in Marawi City, built in partnership with the generous Tarlac Heritage Foundation. We continue to work with our stakeholders to further our aim of being able to make a difference in the lives of the communities that we serve through the delivery of culturally sensitive, peaceful, and progressive services such as community solar lights projects in the remote islands of Mindanao, one of which was inhabited by MILF returnees, Hardin ng Lunas Vegetable and Herbal Gardens in Marawi City, basic healthcare, water pumps, and others. Each and every one of us in the Philippine Army, mentored by the Army Transformation Roadmap, continue to be a vital cog of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and an integral part of the backbone of our Republic's defense, as evidenced by the Palladium Balanced Scorecard Hall of Fame status that your Philippine Army received, a symbol of institutional excellence and a beacon of good governance. Your Philippine Army has always been the go-to guy and the main force provider of the AFP, a distinction each and every personnel of the Philippine Army should be proud of. I have always treasured the valuable contribution that each one of you has made. That is why it has been my policy to nurture human resource, husband it, and invest in it so that it would be able to contribute positive returns. Mati Stepanek said, and I quote, "Unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved." Unquote. When you shift your focus from the we to the me, the goal from team to self, you upset the balance of the whole. Consequently, the redistribution of effort impedes success, says Carlos Wallace. I believe our flag is more than just cloth and ink. It is a universally recognized symbol that stands for liberty and freedom. It is the history of our nation, and it is marked by the blood of those who died defending it. By John Toon. Let the flag of the Republic of the Philippines forever be a symbol of our nation's pride and our unity as a people. Sa bawat isa sa inyo, nakabilang ang kasama ng inyong abang lingkod sa hukbong katihan ng Pilipinas, salamat po at tanggapin po ninyo ang aking huling masiglang saludo sa inyong lahat. Nararapat din bilang punong general ng hukbong katihan na magpasalamat tayong lahat sa ating Commander-in-Chief, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte, sa mga miyembro ng kabinete ng Pangulo, lalong-lalo na sa kalihim ng National Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana at sa Special Assistant to the President Secretary Christopher Bongo, sa Chief of Staff ng AFP General Carlito Galvez Jr., sa mga Major Services Commanders, sa mga stakeholders natin at higit sa lahat sa sambayanang Pilipino. Ngayon naman po ay nais kong patayuin lahat ng mga Army personnel. Maaari po bang tumayo kayo? At bigyan natin silang lahat ng isang masiglang saludo, ang sambayanang Pilipino. Ready, up! Ready, down! Magsipo po. Wala tayong maisusukli sa pinadamang pagmamahal, pagtitiwala, respeto at suporta ng taong bayan para sa mga nasahan ng serbisyo noong taong nagdaan. Yung taas ng pagtingin nila sa ating hanay ay karangalan na dapat nating pangalagaan. I leave to my successor, Major General Macairog Alberto, the personnel of the Philippine Army, its greater asset, 87,000 professionals, highly motivated, principled, skilled, disciplined, fearless, resilient, and focused. I visited all the 31 infantry brigades and the 4 engineering brigades situated all over the country. All of them have been my source of pride and strength. They eagerly await your incoming guidance as their 60th Commanding General. Major General Alberto, I wish you success at the helm. Ang aking taus-pusong pasasalamat sa ating Commander-in-Chief ay kailanman hindi magiging sapat sa tiwala na pinagkaloob niya sa akin mula nang ako'y tinalaga niya na 31st Group Commander ng Presidential Security Group hanggang sa pag-upo ko bilang 59th Commanding General of the Philippine Army. At this point, kindly allow me to submit my tour of duty report as the 59th Commanding General of the Army to our Commander-in-Chief. Having served alongside many of you from my younger days, all the way to the days leading to the liberation of Marawi City, was an experience of a lifetime. The hardships, trials, sacrifices, challenges, rejections, discomfort we all go through as we struggle to make it up the steep steps of the promotion ladder make us learn to value life itself. When death stares us in the face as we face enemy fires, improvised explosive device, landmines, among others, a gamut of mixed emotions runs through our minds that sends shivers down our spines. Fear, courage, despair, hope, defeat, victory, love, or hate, while we see our comrades wounded or killed in action as we soldier on to pursue our mission. This is the moment when we reach out to the man in heaven. For the men and women of the Philippine Army and those who have gone on before us, all heroes in my humble opinion, this is the life we live by choice or force of circumstances. It is the life I have learned to love, and I would not exchange it for any other. For it is a life of service to country and to God, the noblest ideal any human being can ever aspire for. Thank you to my family for their love and prayers. Thank you to my mista for the camaraderie. Thank you to well-meaning mentors, superiors, former bosses, subordinates, and friends who have stood by me through the years. Thank you to the members of the Senate of the 17th Congress for honoring the heroes of Marawi with Senate Resolution number 109. Thank you to the ambassadors of peace-loving nations who came to Marawi to show their support for our government. As I prepare to leave the hallowed grounds of the headquarters of the Philippine Army and hang up my uniforms, allow me to thank the nation for the honor and the privilege of serving God, country, and the Filipino people for 37 long years. Indeed, what a journey my life has been dahil sa inyo pong lahat. Mabuhay ang hukbong katihan ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you to Lieutenant General Rolando Joselito D. Bautista. The guest of honor and presiding officer will now be introduced by the Secretary of National Defense, Delphine N. Lorenzana.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit down. Thank you for your courtesy. Maraming salamat po. You know, I stood up because I took my cue from the Chief of Staff. When he moved his body to torso to stand up, siya yung sanay sa mga program na ito, stand up rin ako. Alam mo, kapko lang tayo, sir. You know, I'll just briefly acknowledge the presence of the Executive Secretary Salvador Mijaldía, AFP Chief of Staff General Carlito Galvez Jr., and the Major Service Command. Sorry, sir, for the miscue. PNA Chief Police General Director Oscar Albayalde, sir. The new Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Major General Macairo Alberto, sir. The officers, enlisted personnel, and civilians of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, mga kasama ko sa gobyerno, mga kababayan. Today is another milestone in the history of the Philippine Army as we celebrate Lieutenant General Bautista's successful tour of duty as Commanding General of the Philippine Army. Early in his career, General Bautista has actively pursued and exhausted all means to defeat the ills that plague our society. As he bids this institution goodbye, his accomplishments speak well of how well he fulfilled this mission. During his stint as commander of the 104th Infantry Brigade and head of the Joint Task Force Basilan, he ably, courageously led the operations against Abu Sayyaf and other IS-inspired terrorists, resulting in the seizure of several enemy camps and the neutralization of two most dreaded foreign jihadists and bomb makers. Soon after, I had the pleasure of working closely with him, first time when he was the Task Force Davao Commander, and later he became the commander of the Presidential Security Group. And then as commander of the 1st Infantry Division that took part in the Marawi operations. Time and again, he has proven his commitment to duty as highlighted by his valuable contributions to the liberation of Marawi. These assignments, among others, have honed, prepared, and equipped him with the necessary skills and experience to lead the men and women of our Army. Upon assuming command of the Philippine Army, General Bautista orchestrated more than 100,000 combat operations, most of which were against the terrorist CPP in PA. This resulted in the neutralization and apprehension of hundreds of rebels and the recovery of hundreds of firearms from various lawless elements. Under his watch, the Philippine Army also provided crucial support in the PNP law enforcement operations, leading to the apprehension of the Abu Sayyaf leaders, members, and other fugitives, as well as the surrender and neutralization of hundreds more. During his tenure, General Bautista also oversaw the development and training, interventions, and the activation of the additional infantry battalions of light armored cavalry troop and an intelligence security unit to further supplement the competence of our soldiers. General Bautista, you have fully dedicated your life in the service of your country and our people. And as you hang up your uniform, you can stand proud knowing that you leave military service with the positive example to those who will follow. You can be assured that the Army you will hand over to your successor, Major General Macaerog Alberto, is a professional workforce that is stronger, more empowered, and even more dependable. To General Alberto, know that we will constantly face threats and challenges as we trudge the noble path of realizing lasting peace and sustainable development. I trust that you will take up this action as our Army's new commanding general. I also ask our troops to support the leadership of General Alberto as we sustain the gains of our reforms. The Filipino people counts on the Philippine Army to remain steadfast in its mission of preserving the peace and defending the freedoms we enjoy today. With your help, I am confident that we can realize our aspirations for a stronger armed forces and a safer, more secure nation. Congratulations to General Bautista and Alberto at mabuhay ang Philippine Army. No. You sit down. He took an extra time. So I would just announce that whether you believe it or not, both in the military and the civilian sector, my only requirement, if I'm there facing your appointment, alam ninyo, kilala niyo ako. All throughout the years, I've been mayor for almost 23 years, and all of you, kaya ko kilala, that's why I know almost all of you, because at one time or another, you sojourned or had been assigned in Mindanao. And since I was the constant ARPOC chairman, I have dealt with you in so many events. Kilala ninyo ako. Kilala ko kayo. So, when I appoint you, I have only one. It's not friendship. It has nothing to do with that. Alam niyo yung Board of Generals, I promise that I will not tinker with your... I have yet even to call one cabinet member or one military or police officials. Alam ninyo yan. I do not make calls. And there is no transaction sa aking opisina table na transaction ng LRT, MRT, they do not reach my office. It begins and ends with Speron, with Lorenzana, with Mijaldia. I do not allow yung papel na mga pera transactions in government ever to reach. Ang ano ko lang yung appointments ninyo, pagka itinaas kasi yung isa, itaas naman yung lahat. So another batch of papers. Sabi ko kay Bongbong, wala ba itong katapusan? Pag i-promote yung isa, kakarami niyang magdating na ganun kakapal. Sabi ko, sabihin mo Bong kay Delpin Lorenzana, wala nang promotion ngayon. You look for somebody who will toil to sign your appointments, whatever, or you stay stagnant there. Kaya araw-araw ganun kakapal, wala nang katapusan ito. At police yan, pati armed forces. Let alone the other papers of state. but minus yung mga contract sa gobyerno, they do not reach my table. You can rest assured. You can rest assured. Malinis dito. At sa mga kasama ko. Ang hinihingi ko lang naman, I said, is that you are competent and you are honest. So, ang DSWD ay bakante. So, we are not talking, I am looking for an honest and competent guy. And I choose Rolly Bautista to be the next secretary. He will Secretary, huwag ka na masyadong formal dyan. Civilian ka na dyan. But you will be called Secretary Bautista. Di maganda, no? Now, let me just make it clear to everybody. Many are questioning me, even some of the ambassadors who are close to me. Why do you choose, now most of them, military or police, retired? Well, I choose them because they are honest and competent. What else? Sabi nila na, you want to be ingratiate ako? I was not elected by the military. I was not elected by the police. I was elected by the Filipino people. You have your mandate, I have mine. If we can agree on so many things, good. If not, then I'm sorry. I have to make decisions that are really very hard. Yun lang. And you know that at one time, 2 conferences ago, command conferences, you were all there and I offered to step down. Kasi sabi ko, kung ganito ang sitwasyon, hindi ko talaga makontrol ang corruption and I cannot deliver what I promised. Drugs, corruption, crime, at saka I will make peace with the enemy. We have tried, we failed with the NPAs. I do not think I'd ever be ready again to talk to them. But we have made progress dito sa MILF. And ako naman, if Noor is listening now, Noor, thank you for your patience in Albania Road. Ikaw na ang bahala, but wag naman matagal. We have to talk also about my advocacy. Sabi ko, no, steady ka lang. Medyo marami pa akong problema. Let them pass and maybe we can talk. He's in Davao. He has his soldiers there. Ako naman. But there was this incident, and I have to tell you, most of the army men were a bit unsettled. Yung pagkamatay ni Parago. The commander, the NPA commander, who killed so many of our commanding officers of the, ano ba yan sa Pakibato? Alpha ba yan ang naka-station doon? Alpha Company. Almost about 4. Tapos, ang sabi ng asawa, gusto niya ilibing lang sa Davao City. And even invited, I think it was you and Bato. Sabi ko, punta tayo doon sa funeraria. At least you are to just be a warrior. Patay na. Wala na yan. Para sa akin, no more. And the request was that I would allow all the NPA soldiers to go down. And sinabi ko sa, kindly have faith in me. Pinababa ko lahat. And they had this funeral, and they were shouting. Sabi ko, hayaan mo. So they went back quietly to the bukid. But you know, alam ninyo, kayong lahat, na all these years, pag may sa hostage na army, police, talagang ako yung pumupunta doon sa bukid. Ako yung pumapasok and I demand the release. Lalo na yung the last time was I didn't know that it was, one of them was a police woman. Na-capture sa Surigao. Sabi ko, nanabong, paalis na ako. Nanalo na ako noon, Presidente. So, pasa mo yan sa iba. Pag nalaman ko yung babae, sabi ko, kinawagan ko si Queenie. Yung, sabi ko, Adre, i-release mo yan. Babae yan. I want it immediately. That was the last. Umakyat ako doon. Kami dalawa ni Bong. Pati may isang babae. Ayaw ko, nakalimutan yung pangalan. There was a woman with us. Tapos, nakita ko doon. Lahat parang pista. They had several buses. It was almost like a... Baba ako, storya kami, tapos kinuha ko yung dalawang biyahe, pinauna ko yung mga sundalo, pati police. Yung ganon, because mayor ako eh. Pagka mayor ka, political lang yan. I know, marami sa inyo nagdududa noon. Pati ito si Anyo, iba ang tingin sa akin. Bigyan siya tumatawa eh. So, tagtatanong siya, sabi ng mga intelligence, ito ba, bakit palabas-pasok ito dito? Sabi siya, noon pa man yan. May ano kami, although that parang modus vivendi, let and let live, basta sa Davao. Kayo, kasi nagalit na si Inday, pag-raid nila yung sa Iho, yung Lapanday, nagalit na yung ali doon. Mga sila, kalaban. Si Inday naman talaga. I'd like to just, I'm not campaigning for anybody. This is not a brief for Bong. Yung adopted brother ng papa ko, who went also to settle down in Davao. Diyan sa Marilog, kumain pa yung mga NPA, pagkatapos kain, binaril sa bunganga. And si Inday was with me at that time, but she was 16 years old. Wala talagang, we talk, sinamahan ko siya, kasi sa bukid, hinaharas yung mga, I was mayor. Sabi niya pa, sabahan mo ako ng mga NPA na yan. Yung project ko, hindi matapos-tapos. It was the time, sabi nila, nagbigay ako ng 45. Maniwala niya. Sabi ko sa NPA, pagkain, medisina, magbigay ako. Pero bala, pati baril, alam mo kung sinong papatay sa akin? Ito yung mga army. Pagbaba ko dito, aambusin ako niyan. Kung gusto niyo akong mabuhay, do not, screwed up with so many Yan ang totoo. So balik tayo dito sa I don't think there will be talks again. Talks with Missouri will be forthcoming. Just give me time. Total, wala namang barilan doon. So there's a lull there. Let it be. Bong is not my aide anymore. The moment he signed his certificate of candidacy, he ceased to be a government employee. Kumandidato siya. I'm not saying anything. Pero alam ba ninyo ang lulo ni Bong? Naglalaro ng golf, dinaanan ng NPA, binarilin sa bunganga. That give you an idea kung ano ang sentimento niya. Wala akong sinasabi na botohan niya. And let us make a deal here. promise, we make a commitment to the Filipino people. This election, strictly neutral tayong lahat. The armed forces, the police, and the uniformed personnel of government, I am asking you not to indulge in partisan politics. Wala tayong susuportahan. Yung mga kandidato ko, ako lang because this is a political position. But I expect everybody to respect that constitutional prohibition. It's good for the country. And I will announce to the country now that we make a pledge. There will be an election and it will be an honest one. Nobody can use government resources, not even Bong. I will not allow. As a friend, I can invite him, but he should not. Of course, I will campaign for my candidates. Wala pa naman akong slated. So hanggang dyan lang tayo. And I hate to talk about politics in a crowd like this. Ours is a commitment to our democratic ideals. One is that the military and the uniformed police personnel should not indulge in politics. There will never be a time that I will talk to you. Kayo, si Rolly, pati lahat kayo, si Makairog. During election time when I was mayor, I never entered their camps. 1 year before, ayaw ko nang magbisita sa regional command, just to, I may have a very lousy mouth. But you know, my values are quite good. Mga sabang, especially when it calls for the exercise of delicadeza. Ganyan ako. But I value friendship, I value loyalty, and nakalimutan ko ng central. Sandali lang, ganito yan eh. Bakit? Bakit si Rule? Bagay, gwapo. Siguro, gwapo ba nila sa kabinet lahat? With the addition of Rule, ilan na kayo sa, pila namang military? Nagbibilang na ng hunta, oh. We will make this democracy work. Sabi ko, but bakit ako nagpili? This is not to, how do I term it? This is not to belittle or undervalue the services of the bureaucracy. Pero ako kasi, I have a very limited time with so many promises to honor. Alam mo yung bureaucracy, at bago na nangyari yan sa akin, kaya, yung makipagdebate sa iyo, alam ko yan kasi mayor ako eh. Pag sinabi mo yun, sir, hindi yan, ganito. Gawain mo lang. Sir, alam mo, recently ganun nangyari. Involving public funds, that it should not be identified yung disbursement to any particular person. Only government. Kung mong ibigay dyan sa for distribution, you know, politics. To make it fair, level the playing field, kayo mismong taga-national. Kung ibigay dyan sa mga local, unang-unang bigyan nila yung tao nila, yung supporter. Yung kalaban nila, wala. And if you want to preposition the relief goods in their bodega, tangina. Wala nang maiwan yan pagdating ng bagyo. Pati yung biscuit. Sabi ko, no, the supply stays there. Somehow we will be able to deliver when the time comes. Ganun ako, I have learned my lesson, not when I was president, but when I was a mayor. Natanungin ko kayo, huwag na lang kayong makinig ng mga military pati police. Tanungin ko, Pilipino. Kung hindi ko nilagay si Del Rosario dyan, matapos kayang Marawi on time? Kung hindi ko inutusan si Roy, pati si Spy, si Anyo, matapos kaya ninyo yan? Hindi pa naman alam. Hindi niya alam yung sinabi ko sana. Hindi yan tumatawa eh. General, naka-division nung last. Hindi yan tumatawa pag pakilala. Si Carolina, pati si Mapago, nag-smile. Anyo, mahal masyado ang smile yan. Pero hindi niya alam, sabi ko, mabuti ito, stricto. Nabigla rin, sabi ko, tawagan mo si Bong. Sayon sa kanya na siya ang DILG. Yan, kung hindi si Simato yan, kung hindi si Anyong, malinis mo kaya ang Boracay? Iiwan mo dyan sa local official? Ano? Magprangkahan tayo. Posible kaya yan? Sabi ko kaya Anyo na pati Roy, I'll give you 6 months to clean Boracay. I don't have to have the opening. Sabi ko, I will go to Boracay to distribute the land titles of that big tract of land sa likod ng Boracay. Kasi sigurado, papasok yung mga, ayan. Wala naman, I have nothing to do with, pero kung ibigay ko lang naman dyan, maggawa sila ng mga condo, hotel, endless, Boracay can handle only so much. You overpopulate the swimmers there, you get shit in return. Ganun karami. So, kasabi ko, ang mabuti nito, they were speculating, ibigay ko raw sa mga Hong Kong, sabi ko, ibigay ko sa tao yan. There will be I will go there just to distribute the titles. I will not go there for a swim. Hindi kagaya kay Simato. Sabi ko, Roy, punta ka ng uto, linisin mo. Sabi ko kay Anyo, sir, nagsisir ako sa kanila eh. Ako lang yung Malacan yan. Small time lang kasi tayo. Mindanao, nagsisir ako, sir, tulungan mo si Roy. Di pumunta yung dalawang birdugo doon. Di nga, tingnan mo Boracay. May text that you are so mabango. Nagpadala yung isang, so I am proud of you. I love you. So sabi ko, okay, I will not join. Alam na ninyo kung sino nagsabi, I am so proud of you, I love you. Alam mo sino? Bakit ko sabihin? Yan ang, kaya pagka ganon, DSWD, may typhoon. Dapat, wala namang tao yan. Ilan lang ang personnel. How much can provincial DSWD? Ilan lang tao niyan? Tapos hindi marunong, yung mayor salbahe, kurapa, yung mga pulis pati army. Ngayon, lagyan mo ni Rule. Madre, may trabaho tayo, trabahoin natin to. Madali. So, ilan kayo, sir? Lahat? Mayroon pa akong isa doon no, sa yung nagkamali ng tindig na. Kakahiya tuloy ni Rolly. Bakit apurado ito mga putang yan na to? Gutom na siguro. Well, anyway, I'm sorry for that fupa, call it. So yan ang message ko sa inyo. Selection, about my selection, and do not entertain that notion na nagpapalakas ako. Frankly, I've been the son of the governor of Davao when it was one. I grew up with politics, with soldiers and police. So I became mayor very early. 43 lang ako naging mayor. I'm 73 now. So you consider the years that I had to interact with everybody. So I love my armed forces. You'll never be found wanting. Sa tapang, pati sa lahat na hiningi ninyo, binigay ko na. Dumating na ba ang yung pinabili ko? Itong rinig sa mga uyab natin sa telepono. Wala kayong masahan sa akin, nataga-Intel. Sige, tanong ko sa inyo. Isa, mayroon ba kayong narinig niya sa telepono sa akin? Did I call? Not even once. Ang directory ko, tangina, puro babae. Ngayon, hindi man ako marunong yung yung gagong, yung isang pindot mo, tatlong numero gago, itong telo-selo. Doon ako sa dati yung tik-tak lang. Pero pinaglaruan ko minsan, sir. Siguro si Albayalde medyo gustong marinig nito. Nilaruan ko, dito ako, tuturuan ako, tapos makalimutan ko mga. So naglalaro ako, ganyan. Sabi ni Bong, in the process, parang you created a Viber. Yung isang kaibigan ko, birthday niya. So, tawag nila na bumirang. Yung parang galaw-galaw ka ng gano'n. Pero, created by hindi ka na kailangan magtindi ka, then bumirang pang anak ka na send all ko. Ubos. Pati yung kilala niya, wala na. Malis sa Davao. So naiwanan ko yung gaga na lang na isa. Sabi ko, ikaw ang tangina, sagutin mo lahat ang pangailangan ko. Wala na eh. Yung sa States, yung sa nawala. Na-send all. Be careful with sometimes Murphy's Law. Well, that's as good as any time to say it. If things can go wrong, it will go wrong. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Please remain standing for the himno ng Hukbong Katihan ng Pilipinas.
Walang katihan, buong pusong naglilingkod sa aming bayan. Matulog, humugat at kapatagan, aming magbuwis ng buhay kung ito ay pinakailangan. Tutunin namin sa